Challenges have always been a staple to Fortnite Battle Royale, whether it's making a sky base or winning without guns. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the 10 hardest challenges players have ever attempted to complete in Fortnite. Coming in at the 10th hardest challenge, we've got the Four Corners Challenge. Now, this challenge was initially made popular by famous streamers such as Courage JD, Ninja, Cypher PK, and many more. Now, this challenge requires a squad of 4 to load up into a match. Once loaded into the game, the 4 players need to drop from the battle bus, each going to a separate corner, as you may have guessed from the name of the challenge. They then have to loot up their location and solo squad until they can successfully meet back up with whatever teammates are still standing, finishing it off all with a victory royale. Now, this challenge has seen many modifications throughout the years, sometimes even requiring players to get mythic items from each corner of the map, back when those were still a thing. Even with that being said though, no matter how many variations are put on this challenge, it'll always be a fun one to do. Just loading up into some squads with the boys, dropping separately, and seeing who of you is the best to remain standing at the end of the game. The next challenge on our list changes up the conventional method of playing squads even more than the Four Corner Challenge, forcing one of your players to become entirely useless, or only allowed to use one gun depending on the variation of the challenge. That's right, we're putting the Protects the President Challenge as the 9th hardest challenge in Fortnite. For those who are unaware, this is yet another classic popularized by many streamers and content creators, where 3 players in a squad match must protect their 4th member from dying, or else they automatically fail the challenge. Now, depending on how difficult you want to make things, sometimes you'll give the president, aka the one person in your squad that you're trying to protect, a pistol to defend themselves if the rest of the team dies. Other than that though, the president is only allowed to carry heals and help out his teammates from a support position, while the rest of the team is forced to solely protect that one member, the president. If you've never tried it, definitely get together some of your friends and decide on who to protect, because while it can be intense, this is definitely one of the most fun challenges in all of Fortnite. Next up, we've got an absolute staple of Fortnite culture, something nearly every Fortnite player knows about, and this is skybasing. Originating all the way back in the Chapter 1 days, skybases have been synonymous with the Fortnite Battle Royale meme strats ever since day one. For those who haven't thought about this challenge in a while, let me give you a quick recap. Teams must harvest as many materials as they can before the zone starts to shrink in. Now, in some variations of the challenge, players are only allowed to kill enemy squads before ramping into the sky, but in others, you're not allowed to damage anyone until the final team is alive, truly making it a sky base only, no killing other players challenge. After gathering enough materials, the team must ramp straight up to max height, staying on the very edge of storm to hopefully not be seen by enemies, and continue to build at max height into the safe zone until either one team remains or you entirely win the game out of confusing the other team so much that they just leave the match, or even die. Although, while skybasing can be incredibly fun, many people have learned to just look up into the skies in modern Fortnite, making the strategy much less effective. A great challenge to try in place of the debunked skybases, though, is the E11 Blaster only challenge. While this challenge has only been available 2 times before in Fortnite history, once in Chapter 2 Season 1 and once in Chapter 3 Season 3 nowadays, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. For those who are unaware, the E11 Mythic Blaster Rifle is probably the weakest mythic Fortnite has ever added to the game, literally giving you Stormtrooper aim with how much bloom there is on the gun. This challenge truly forces you to only take mid-range fights, since shotguns will beat you up close, but any form of AR will beat you at a long range, since you'll only be able to land about 2 shots on an enemy player with how little accuracy this weapon has. This is definitely not the most fun challenge on our list, but it easily makes you reconsider attempting the challenge like any good difficult challenge should. Surprisingly though, this is only our 7th most difficult challenge in Fortnite history, and we still have 6 more challenges that are harder than this one. Let's start to turn up the heat a bit. Rolling back into another staple challenge in Fortnite, we've got solo squatting. A challenge created in the very OG days of Fortnite, this is how you used to truly prove your skills in the Fortnite competitive scene. Before tournaments or arena mode ever existed, the hardest challenge people could face was hopping into squads as a solo player, forcing yourself to face off against 96 other players, all united in teams of 4, ready to take you down. Obviously, Obviously, though, this challenge is only number 6 on our list, and that's due to the fact that while in the original days of Fortnite, this challenge was hard, it has gotten much easier these days. Don't get me wrong, it's still incredibly difficult to get a solo squad win. I mean, it is still the 6th hardest challenge of all time, but with the things I'll be showing you in our top 5, you'll start to think that solo squatting is a breeze with their difficulty level. Now we're moving on to the top 5, and let me tell you, the speed of this video is going to increase significantly now, because all of these challenges require much less explanation, as their names will truly tell you how difficult they are. Starting off with number 5, we've got the no healing challenge. I think you guys can guess what this challenge is all about and figure out why it's so difficult, easily giving it the 5th hardest challenge in Fortnite history. I mean, healing is literally a core mechanic to the game, and some people have managed to win games without using a single healing item. Absolutely insane. If any of you have ever gotten a win without heals, make sure to leave a comment down below on how you managed to pull it off, because let me tell you guys, this challenge is really hard. Next up, we got the no guns challenge. In a battle royale where your entire goal is to eliminate enemy players with guns, not using any form of weaponry to do so is obviously incredibly difficult. Even with all the odds stacked against them though, some of the top players in Fortnite have managed to pull through with this challenge throughout the years. The most impressive version of this challenge by far is from a Fortnite World Cup qualifier. In multiple weeks of qualification, FaZe Bizzle managed to qualify for round 2 of the Fortnite World Cup without using a single gun. While no one will ever reach that level of ascendancy with this challenge ever again, you're more than welcome to try hopping into your next Fortnite match and winning without a gun. The 3rd hardest challenge in Fortnite is just the no gun challenge, basically on steroids. Now, not only stopping you from using weapons, but eliminating you from using the majority of healing items as well. That's right, this is the fish only challenge. While it hasn't been done by too many players, if completed, this challenge truly shows your dominance over Fortnite lobbies. Not even needing any items out of chests, floor loot, or supply drops, but solely using fishing rods and fish you can pull out of the holes. Oh, and by the way, even though you can fish weapons out of fishing holes, if you want to truly complete this challenge, you're not allowed to use any of those weapons either. For our 2nd hardest challenge, we have the no taking damage challenge. While you can use any guns or weapons like every other player, you aren't allowed to take a single point of damage. I think this challenge truly speaks for itself. It's nearly impossible to do, but even with that, many players have still managed to do it, like the likes of Tfue. Even back in the OG days of Fortnite, Tfue was easily able to win games with tons of kills without taking damage from enemy players. It's gotta be one of the hardest things to do in game. You have to know how to build perfectly, you have to know how to position perfectly, and let me tell you, your aim's gotta be pretty darn good. With that being said though, there's a challenge that's still 500 times harder than anything else on this list. Our number 1 most difficult challenge has only been completed by literally 1 or 2 people throughout all of Fortnite's history. You're not allowed to use guns, heals, fish, cars, or literally anything else. All you're allowed to do is land on the map and wait. No, you can't even move to the safe zone if you end up in the storm. That's right, this is the no moving challenge. I personally thought that this challenge was literally impossible until Laserbeam somehow managed to do it. After hundreds of attempts, he managed to win a game of Fortnite literally by doing nothing and completing the hardest challenge the game has ever seen. Overall though, those are the top 10 hardest challenges players have ever tried to complete in the history of Fortnite. If you have any challenges you think deserve to be on this list, leave them in the comment section down below. With that out of the way though, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on it and subscribing to the channel, as that would help us out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.